We are live now. A few minutes ago, they wouldn't let me go live, but here we are. Here I am. Y'all see me? Hey, hey, Facebook. I do have a few announcements that I want to make. First of all, let me remind you that the People's Table, which is an event that was created by the Chris Jones campaign, Dr. Chris Jones, who is running for Congress here in Arkansas, he is poised to win. I'm talking about poised. He is in great position to win, but he does need our support. And so we were going to have the People's Table where he goes around into intimate settings to have conversations with people one on one. It was scheduled for yesterday, and he was supposed to be on the air today. That's what the schedule said. But he ended up experiencing a loss in his family. He's actually at the funeral today. And so we want to pause, yes, for in a moment to think about that. But also just to let you know that we have rescheduled the People's Table. It's rescheduled for September 10th. September 10th of this year, that's when the People's Table is set to go. If nothing else gets in the way, I don't want to say gets in the way. Well, if nothing else comes up, then we'll be scheduled for that. We no longer know the destination because we don't know how many people are coming. So if you are interested in showing up for the People's Table, an intimate setting where you can dialogue with Dr. Chris Jones, who is running for Congress here in the state of Arkansas, you can reach out to 501 838 0833. 501 838 0083. That don't even sound right. Zero. Oh, that don't even sound right. 501-838-0833. 838-0833. 838-0833. That's the number. What we need you to do is RSVP to that number. There's nobody manning the phones. So I know some of you all love to leave voicemails. You do not like to text, but we need you to text because we need your name, we need your email address, and we need your phone number. Your name, your email address, and your phone number. And so if you would just text that to the number 501 838 0833. 838-0833, and that'll give us a head count so we can know if which space is best for us to gather for this conversation, this intimate conversation one-on-one with Dr. Chris Jones, who's running for Congress right here in the state of Arkansas. Hotep is on the line wishing us life, prosperity, and health. I see you. I see you. Okay, let me give you these announcements for today. Well, that was one of them, of course. And now here are some more. There's a rally at the Capitol for Elisa. Elisa is the young 18-year-old Black woman young Black queen, who was punched in the face by an Arkansas State trooper. And so we're rallying on August 13th. So if this is the 11th and today is Wednesday, so August 13th is Thursday at 3 o'clock p.m. at the Capitol Mall, One Capitol Mall in Little Rock, room B, MAC, 5th floor. On August 13th, which is this Thursday, there is a rally at the Capitol for Elisa. She's the young Black queen who was bussed in the face by the Arkansas State Trooper on, I think it was August 1st. The time is 3 p.m. The location is One Capitol Mall, CAPITOL, and it's in Little Rock, 72201, room B, which they call MAC. I don't really know what MAC stands for, but that's the room that we will gather in um, for that conversation. Let me see more announcements. I also want to announce. Oh, we do have for Community Voices. We've got two guests. We had guests scheduled all month long. So last week we had Get Loud Arkansas. Today was supposed to be Dr. Chris Jones, and he'll be in next month. And then we have on next week, we have Marcina McKinley, Mrs. Marcina McKinley, who you all know from the Health Corner on third Thursdays. And then on that following Tuesday, we have the Right Reverend, I call him that, the Right Reverend Ryan Davis. So I do want to announce that we do have some guests on our show for the rest of the week. Also want you to know that the gathering, Poetry Among the Petals, I like that title, Poetry Among the Petals. An intimate evening of poetry, art, music, and entertainment set among fresh blooms in a creative community. This is happening on Thursday, August 27th, 2026. The doors open at 6:30. Show starts at 7:15. It's taking place at the North Hills Florist and Gifts place. North Hills Florist and Gifts, 7311 North Hills Boulevard, Suite 15 in North Little Rock, 72216. So North Hills Florist and Gifts is sponsoring the gathering, Poetry Among the Petals, at on Thursday, August 27th, 7th at 7311 North Hills Boulevard, Suite 15. That's in North Little Rock, 72116. So for those of you who love that kind of thing, I love that kind of thing, that is happening. Also want you to know, oh, we got to get Ashton in here too. Also want you to know that the Anatomy of Love fashion show is happening on September 26th, 2026, this year at Chenal Country Club. That's 11001 Chenal Parkway in Little Rock, 72211. The doors open at 1:30 p.m. and the show is from 2 to 5. Again, this is from the Ashton Hall collection. Y'all know him from this show, the Ashton Hall collection. Anatomy of Love fashion show, and that's happening on September 26th. So we will be announcing that as we get closer to the date. I think those are all of the announcements that I have for us. I'm just running through to make sure, because sometimes I get home, I'll be like, dog, I forgot to make the announcements. Those are all the announcements that I see right now. If you are, oh, wait a minute. Here's one. Yes, here's one. So the free tax lien investing workshop is happening on August 15th, Saturday in West Little Rock. Okay, there's a series of them happening. There's one happening in West Little Rock on Saturday, August 15th. There's one happening on Sunday, August 16th in North Little Rock. There's one happening in Conway on Monday, August 17th. There's one happening in Russellville on Monday, August 17th. There's one happening downtown here in Little Rock Tuesday, August 18th. And there's one happening in Hot Springs Tuesday, August 18th. Want to learn how to buy houses for just the taxes owed? It's true. When a homeowner is behind on their property taxes, you can get 16 to 24% returns when you buy the tax lien on the property. If they still don't pay, you can foreclose on the house for just the taxes owed and attorney fees. Learn how at these free West Little Rock, North Little Rock, Conway, Russellville, downtown, and Hot Springs area live events, and you can sign up for that. Now, the reason I wanted you to announce that is not so that you can go and get these houses from people, but so those of you who know that there are people who have not paid their taxes, that you can help them keep from losing that. These workshops are designed for people to take their homes. So we need to say, whoa, we know somebody who's in trouble with their taxes. Let us rally around them. Let us support them. Let us make the donation. Let us pay it so that they won't lose their home. So these workshops are teaching you how to make sure you get their homes. And I'm saying, no. Wait. Let us come alongside people who are in trouble to help them so that this won't happen to them. That's the reason I wanted to announce make that announcement. Okay, so I think that's all of the announcements that I have for you on this day. And so let us get into it with our song this morning. The song was If Only You Knew by Patti LaBelle. And it's quite apparent that Patti LaBelle is singing about a romantic relationship. She's singing about the fact that she's in love with someone who she doesn't believe understands the depth and the breadth of her love. She doesn't believe that this person, who I'm assuming is a man, that she doesn't believe that this man really knows, like on a cellular level, how much she thinks about him, how much she fantasizes about him, how much she can't wait to be with him, all the things that she wants to do. I mean, she is head over heels in love with this man, and obviously he does not understand because he's not reciprocating the love. If he was, we would not be listening. If he were, we would not be listening to the song. So the song is designed for us to think about what that feels like to have unrequited love, where you love somebody but they don't love you back, and you want so much for them to love you back. I mean, you willing to do whatever it takes, inside and outside the home, wherever you gotta go, whatever you gotta do, I'm willing, because that's how much I love you. That's what Patti LaBelle is talking about in this song, If Only You Knew. And she says in this song, and I used the word a few minutes ago, that it's a fantasy. That what she wants, she says, I'm living in a fantasy. I dream of moments we share. Listen to what she says. I dream of moments we share, but you're not there. How is you sharing a moment with somebody who ain't there? Because this is all in her mind. She says, I'm living in a fantasy. And I think about that as it relates to us, those of us who are so in love with the system of whiteness. We so in love with the system of white inhumanity. We so in love with that we are willing to do anything, even though it is a fantasy, even though the American dream does not exist for people of color, certainly not for Black folks, if even still we are doing all of these things. Well, maybe if I get a big house, maybe if I drive a luxury car, maybe if I get into this club, this social club, maybe then I will be seen, maybe then I will be embraced, maybe then I'll be respected. But I need you to understand that if only you knew that they ain't thinking about you. The white gaze is not on you. You thinking that people are concerned about what you doing. They not studying you. You over here trying to rally. You over here trying to get yourself together so you can live in this neighborhood. You trying to enroll your child in this school. You trying to do all these. They not thinking about you. If only you knew. If only you realize that they couldn't care less how you living. And you living according to you, how in the hall, within you stepping over people that are oppressed as you all go about your business, especially as you go to church. So many of us pass church on the way to church because we see people who are hungry. We see people who are mentally, who are have brain health issues. We see all of this, but we too busy trying to get to where we going. We trying to get to the we trying to say to get to the place where we feel like we have arrived. Let me tell you something, Black folks. You ain't arrived. I don't care what you got. You have not arrived. Even even thinking about the announcement that I made for about Elisa. Elisa's only 18 years old and she got busted in the face by this Arkansas State trooper. So while you around here talking about I live in this house, I live in this neighborhood, what about Elisa? Do you not care about the rest of us? Like only for you and your house? Okay, well, even if it's only for you and your house, I promise you, white folks not studying. They don't care what you got. They are continuing to build this narrative where whiteness is supreme. But whiteness is not supreme. So while we chasing after it, while we living in a fantasy thinking we're going to get their attention, if only you knew. If only we could get you to realize and understand that that system does not care about you. It's a system of inhumanity. Why would you even want to be connected to it? Why would you even want to be embraced by it? Why? And so this song of Patti LaBelle saying, I'm living in a fantasy. Stop living in the fantasy. I want you to hear in a few minutes. We got two tidbits today. The first tidbit is actually from the EJI website. So let me read that one. And then you're going to have to listen to the other tidbit. Didn't I? You know what? I might have had a different file. Was I using a different file? Yes. So I want to make sure that, okay, well, while I'm doing that, I want you to hear the tape, the video. Listen to the video of Elisa. This is the young Black queen who was punched in the face, I call it bust in the face, by the Arkansas State trooper. And I hope I have it right where it needs to be. If not, just give me a minute to cue it up. But I think it's right where on the part that I really want you to hear. So take a listen to this from THV 11. I pulled it from their website.
It pays to book your 38 stay early with Verbo. Book early and save over $530. Verbo. Book now, relax longer. Average savings $550. Book 60 days in advance on 7+ stays. Select homes only.
You got my hand on my face. Who said I can't punch you in your face? You got my hand on my face. Who said I can't punch you in your face? You got my hand on my face. Who said I can't punch you in your face?
So I actually played it 3 times for you because that was the only part for me that I wanted you to hear. It's a whole long video, and you can watch it again online at the THV11. Denise in it has it linked to one of her Facebooks, Representative Denise in it. It's on her Facebook page. You can also find it there. She gives you the link to the video. But I wanted you to hear him say, she said, "No, you didn't just punch me in my face." And he says, "Who says I can't punch you in your face?" And then if you are watching the video, he don't have no problem letting you see his face. He is not bothered. He's not concerned. She's 18 years old. It does not matter where you live. It does not matter what your bank account is. If only you knew that you are still less than human to them. If you can punch an 18-year-old, I mean, and she's like, she weigh a buck 05, so dripping wet. There's no need for him to do that. And she's like, somebody call my mama. I don't know if anybody was able to call her mama because of how things were playing itself out, but like I said, she does have Benjamin Crump, who has come alongside her, and some more people to make sure that that they try to get some kind of justice for her. I'm not sure what all they're going to be able to do, but that is the hope and the prayer for lots of people, that some kind of justice. I keep saying that I don't believe that justice is possible in the world in which we live. I think we need to come up with a different word, something else that we are searching for, because it can't be justice, because this world is designed to punish people. That's what it's designed to do. So when we talk about justice, like, how can you get it in a world like this? I don't know. If somebody has an answer for that, please reach out and let me know. Again, the numbers is 501-433-0088. The number to the studio is 501-433-0088. So on August 10th in 1898, a white mob seized 4 Black people from a jail in Clarendon, Arkansas, and lynched them before they could stand trial. On August 10th, 1898, a white mob seized 4 Black people from a jail in Clarendon, Arkansas, and lynched them before they could stand trial. Now, I wanted to use this coupled with the video from Elisa, because here we are. We are taught. We are taught that you are supposed to be able to trust law enforcement. You're supposed to be able. Oh, he said you can't hear me on the radio. What? Hello, hello. Okay, Ramen, can you hear me now? It says no sound on the radio. So I don't know if you heard the EJI tidbit. Let me go back with the EJI tidbit for today. The EJI tidbit for today on August 10th, 1898. Okay, yes, I fixed it. Thank you, Ramen. On August 10th, 1898, a white mob seized 4 Black people from a jail in Clarendon, Arkansas, and lynched them before they could stand trial. It was 3 men and a woman. On August 10th, 1898, a white mob seized 4 Black people from a jail in Clarendon, Arkansas, and lynched them before they could stand trial. And so we are taught, if you go to school, if you go to public school, you're taught that you can trust law enforcement. You have these days, these career days, when the police officers and the firefighters and the teachers, they come in and they say, oh, you should want to grow up and have this as a profession, because we help people, we serve people, protect and serve. That's supposed to be the motto for the police anyway. But here you have on August 10th in 1898, a white mob who seizes 4 Black people from the jail. If I were to continue reading, you will learn that the man in charge, the sheriff, gave them the keys and said, here, go on and do what you want to do. And so they took them out and they lynched them. So the same thing is happening today with Elisa. These are people you're supposed to be able to trust. These are people who you're supposed to be able to protect and serve, and they are the ones punching her in the face. So we don't have anybody who rallies around us as Black folks. We don't have anybody who stands up and says, yes, when I see you, I see God. When I see you, I see divine. When I see you, I see human. We don't have that happening. And so for us to live this life to where we're trying our best to get them to notice us, and we think that the ways that they can notice us is by what we have, by the money that we spend, that's not how they notice us. That's how they use us. We were talking about this. We hear this all the time, that Black folks contribute 1 point something. Last I looked up the number, it was 1.8, 1.9. We contribute $1.9 trillion to the economy. You know how we do it? We do it buying hair. We do it buying makeup. We do it by by getting our nails and our toes done. We do it by driving luxury cars. We do it by mortgaging these high dollar homes. Caller, you're live on the air, KBF at 8.3. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good morning to you and all your listeners. You know, that question that you asked me is something that I thought about. Uh, we understand how much we love Jesus and God and Allah and all these different things. Yet and still, we shared our life, our blood for a wicked system that we know wicked. We support righteous people calling themselves righteous, support a wicked system. And if there was anyone that ever hung on the cross and died for the sins of this damn world, is our people. You have been hung on trees and everything else you can think of and give you, and you still love your enemy. That's not even. I say, well, maybe we just don't know. I would try to rationalize it in my mind. Maybe we just don't know. And the other conclusion, I could tell, well, maybe we just have the fear of the unknown. You really divine, got plenty of power, but you just give it to your enemy. But people, I don't even want to call you that. I just don't know what your head is. And I can't figure out where your head is. But really, we live in a hell of a illusion. Thank you.
So basically, the caller is saying that we live in an illusion, that um, we're not. I don't think. I think what the caller is saying, we're not paying attention. We're not listening. We're not aware. Maybe we're not aware of what is happening. I don't know how you cannot be aware. The only way that I can think of you not being aware is if you apply that principle from the Bible that says, "As for me and my house." And so some of us have misinterpreted that, and that has been misinterpreted for a lot of people. It basically sounds like it means this is what I don't care what y'all do over there. This is what we gonna do. So it doesn't matter. All that matters to me is what's in my house, what's going on in my house, what's going on with my family, what's going on with my children, what's going on with my grandchildren. But in the spirit of Sawubona, we are all connected to each other, regardless of our quote unquote race, because we know that race is a construct and it really doesn't mean anything, but we can't dismiss it because the world is built on it. And so we have to acknowledge that race is a part of our world, even while acknowledging that race is not scientific. You can't prove race by any stretch of the imagination. And so that's probably why some of us, when the caller says we're living in an illusion, that's probably why. Because we have a world that's defined by race, but race itself doesn't exist. So how does that work? That's like what you call it when you have cognitive dissonance. Like you're claiming to be one thing when really it's something else happening, and you cannot merge the two because they don't fit. And you try to make them fit. You try to live in a way that makes them fit, and you can't. You simply cannot. And so we have to become aware of the fact that this world was not designed for non-white people, point blank, period. And then you say, well, if I have these things, then they'll look at me differently. We had a black president of the United States of America. He was that's the highest office in the land that America, highest office. You can't get no higher than that. And he was disrespected before he even got into office. And he was disrespected all the time he was in office for 8 years. And he's still being disrespected now. But you think somebody, because you work for the Stevens or you work for the Rockefeller. I don't know where these people work that believe this stuff. I really don't know. I'm just making up names that I know I'm thinking about names that I know carry weight. I know Rockefeller carries weight. You work for the Bill Clinton Foundation, so you think you're doing something. When in essence, it means nothing to the system. So what we have to do is get you to focus on yourself. Focus. When you say, as for me and my house, it should be as for me and my house. We understand what it means to be Black. My children know the stories. They carry the stories. They carry the legacy. They understand that they are the dream of their ancestors. They understand that everywhere they go, they carry their ancestors on their shoulders. So they don't have to be scared. They don't have to be afraid. They don't have to be worried, because whenever I walk in the room, I don't walk in a room by myself. I walk in the room with all the, when you talk about, they talk about it in the Bible, the cry, the angels that are up there surrounding you if you are in trouble. That's what we have with our ancestors. We don't go anywhere without them if you teach your children that. But many of us are not teaching our children, and we can't teach our children because we have not yet taught ourselves. And one of the things that I know for a fact, because it has happened in my own family, so I'm not talking about anybody else, I'm talking about what I know about my own family, is that many of us as parents, what we do is we try to live vicariously through our children. So if we grow up poor, we want to make sure that our children never want for anything. And if you parent that way, Black, point blank, period. And so, what does it mean to lift yourself up out of the gaze of white? What would it take for you to say, I don't care what they think about me? I don't care how they feel about me. I don't care how they see me. All I care about is knowing who I am. And I want to be surrounded by people who know who they are. And that doesn't mean you can only surround yourself with Black people, because I'm telling you, because so many of us don't know who we are. So you can't trust us. You got to find you a tribe. And your tribe may be made up of all number of quote unquote races. I know that I have a tribe that includes white folk. I got a tribe. I don't think I've been trying my best to get brown people in my tribe, but I haven't done so well with that. Maybe I'll try again. I tried real hard for a while, and I was like, you know what? I'm trying too hard. It's got to be organic. Let it be organic. But this is what we, and when I said that about let it be organic, because we were talking at lunch on Sunday, Matthew was there. Matthew's a white man. I consider him part of my tribe. Absolutely, hands down. I trust him. Absolutely. And we were talking about how we use the words. Miss Sarah was with us this, so it wasn't this past Sunday. It must have been the Sunday before. We were talking about how we use these words so loosely. We use the word friend so loosely. You think just because somebody hit you up on Facebook, that's your friend. You think just because somebody asks you for your phone number so y'all can keep in touch because y'all enjoyed the meeting together, that's not your friend. You see people commenting on your posts, and it might be one person who comments on all your posts, so you think, oh, this person must like me, that's my friend. No, that's social media. It's a platform where people can become whoever they want to be. Yes, some people are telling the whole truth with their stories, but many are not.
We still looking for them instead of using our own power and knowledge to change our situation. I say we feel we got a lot of fear going on in our people. They feel, oh, if I do this, I'm gonna lose my car, I'm gonna lose this, I'm gonna lose all of that, I'm gonna lose my job. We gotta have a lot of fear going on in our people. And for what? Your book teach you that you got the power, you got the creator on your side. But I don't think you really believe it. I don't think you believe that. I don't think people really trust like they saying they trust. I have a know that they're so. See, even what we have right now, even with you and your big cars and your big houses, you know damn well you're in and they provide that function. It had to be a creator or somebody help you along the way to get even this far, and you can go further. We are literally the word capitalism. When you look it up, the last part of the meaning Constitution, you're being used. You get everything else you can think. You willing to die for us. Shed your blood. Get harmed, get lynched, get everything. Butchered, getting picked up, molested, and all kinds of things going on. And I guess you wait for the same system to change it. It's crazy.
Well, I'm going to push back a little bit on that, because I know for a fact that in many of these conversations that we are having, that poverty is the culprit. And I can think about my own mother. My own mother grew up poor. She didn't grow up the same level of poor as my father did, but she still grew up poor. So the two of them coming from my mama being poor and my daddy coming from abject poverty, then one of the things that they wanted to make sure of was that their children never experienced it. Whatever I gotta do. So if I gotta kiss and tap dance for some white folks for me to make sure that my children have food on the table, then that's what I'm gonna do. And so, from that perspective, when you think about how harmful, when you think about how inhumane poverty is, then you can't help but say, wait a minute, wait a minute. I understand that some people are just trying to make sure that they don't, that their children, that the legacy that they leave is not the legacy that was left for them. I want to make sure that I leave your world better than it was when you came into it. And so I can understand how people are working in the system in that way. My problem, what I'm talking about are people who are well aware. Like, look, you ain't in no abject poverty. You ain't even come from that. You just want to make sure that you want to be in the limelight. You want to make it big. You want to be seen. You want to make a splash. You like that because the gaze becomes more important than anything else. And so that is what I'm, because I don't want to ever victimize people who are already being victimized, and the poor are already being victimized. So I don't want to say that the people who are poor, shame on you for wanting more, shame on you for wanting a big house. I don't want to say that. And so I think that we have to be careful, because that's one of the things we also talk about, is that this world wants us to think only in terms of black and white. Either you rich or you poor, either you're black or you white, either you middle class or not, like either you educated or not. Like, we don't make room for the nuances. And so what my concern is about your gaze, that we are those of us who are living because we're concerned about what white people, what the system of whiteness thinks about us. Again, I'm not talking about white people, because you cannot paint a broad brush. I understand that not every white person is racist. Every one of them is born into a world racist, but plenty of them have done the work to become anti-racist, and they're still on that journey, and I want to honor that. Caller, you're live on the air, KBF. Thanks for calling.
You're more than welcome. Morning, Sister Denise.
Hey, Ezekiel.
Morning to your listeners, those on the video. It's kind of difficult, or extremely difficult, to rise above the level of your parents. If your parents didn't have anything, it's going to be hard for you to have anything left to you, if you know what I mean. And those such thing as generations well. There have been instances where folks were left acres and acres and hundreds of acres of land, and their parents or grandparents who left them the land never had anything more than a mule. But creature comforts are a part of the American experience, if you want to say that, civilization. And so folks reach for a lot of creature comforts, and they really don't have too much of anything. Literacy among our young people is a result of their parents and the folks before them being illiterate. So it's kind of hard for them to know what to do because they are ignorant, if you will. So we have this dilemma facing us where our presidents have opened the doors to let folks come in and rent us and do all types of things that happen all across the United States, not just in the South, Rosewood and Memphis and parts of South Carolina, parts of North Carolina, where the white mobs ran through the town. You could go on and on and on, and that's the dozens and dozens of cases that have been presented before our Congress. That's why they put in so many amendments and everything because of what was going on after emancipation, Reconstruction, all the way up into the 60s when they were doing the civil rights, let them vote, what have you. If you're from Mississippi, you know what happened down there. We go on and on and on. It just didn't happen there. It happened on the Pettit Bridge, right here in Arkansas. They had poll taxes, things like that. Happened in Cicero, Illinois, right outside of Chicago. Case, Dr. King, I left so fast you'd have thought he was in hell. To make a long story short, we are confronted with all of these things, and we don't really know about them. Like I said, we've got the highest illiteracy rate for any so-called educated person, people. So we don't expect to have too much. And like I said, there are folks who left hundreds of acres of land to their children and grandchildren, and never have more than a meal. So we know how I can know when they start to rubber tires on wagons instead of the wagon where we used to cut people's legs off. So we've come a long way, got a long way to go.
That's why I mentioned, that's why I wanted to read that announcement about the tax liens. And so there are people in our neighborhood, and it's not hard to figure out who they are because you can see that their houses need work. So I'm not saying it's true. I'm not gonna say that every house that needs work probably has a tax lien on it. I'm not gonna say that at all. But I'm saying that's a clue. And so you can reach out to your neighbors and be like, hey, let's have a conversation and find out what's going on with them. Because if you are in a position to buy a luxury car, if you are in a position to live in this mansion that you're living in, surely you are in a position to help your neighbor. I would think so. But really, I've come to find out that that's not the case. When I talk to people who live in big houses and luxury cars, if you ask them for $5,000, they can't give it to you. They got to liquidate something in order to give it to you. So even though you living high on the hog from the outset, that's what it looks. That's what you present to us. In actuality, you living paycheck to paycheck like everybody else. Not like everybody else, but you know what I mean? Like other people are as well. And so so in order for us to say, okay, so Ezekiel was like, well, if depending on how your parents were, you really might not have the understanding. Well, that's why you have a tribe. That's what it means to be in community. That's why I'm speaking against this whole "as for me and my house," where you only care about you and yours. We've got to have an egalitarian spirit, where we care about everybody. Because if one person alone is oppressed, we all are oppressed. And if we can't, that's why we have got to embrace the spirit of Sawubona, the spirit of oneness. If you hungry, I don't want to see you. Listen, Sunday, there's this woman at our church. I don't want to call her name because I didn't ask permission to do that. But she cooks all the time, like breakfast at the church. I usually do not eat the breakfast because I usually have to sing or something. Yeah, I have to sing every Sunday. And I don't want to eat and then I have to sing. That's just not good for me. And so I usually don't get any food. But this past Sunday, I saw that food and I was like, I'm finna get me some of these sausage balls and this peach cobbler. Where to go? I'm walking around, I'm hollering in the stuff. Where to go place? So I made me a to-go plate and I was so excited. You know how sometimes you make a to-go plate and you go ahead and eat a little bit of it. You eat a little bit of it because you want to taste it. I'm like, no, I'm not going to eat any of it because I got to sing. I'm going to wait till I get home. So I could not wait to get home. I'm talking about later on in the day. So we went to lunch. We usually go to lunch after church. So that's why I said that was going to be my dinner. So we went to lunch and we went to Flying Fish and there was a man sitting there and now, 3 people walked in before me, but he looked at me and said, ma'am, do you have anything to eat? And I didn't understand what he said to me. Listen, being hard of hearing, that ain't no joke. I'm working with one hearing aid right now too, because the other one is in the shop. So I said, excuse me, what did you say to me, King? He said, do you have anything to eat? Let me tell y'all something. I was like, you know what? Yes, I do. And I went back to my car and I ain't gonna lie, I was like, my post sausage balls. I went back to my car, got the sausage balls, got the with the peach cobbler. I went into the place, the restaurant. I got the napkins, and I was trying to find a fork, couldn't find a fork, so I found something that looked like a fork. And so I was willing to do that. I wanted them sausage balls for myself. I wanted that peach cobbler for myself. That's what I wanted. But here's a member of my tribe who is hungry. And so for us to think that all we have to worry about is ourselves, I don't care what they do, we ought to be teaching. If there is an illiterate child in your midst, shame on you. Not shame on the child, shame on you. If there is somebody in your neighborhood who can't pay their taxes, shame on you. Not shame on them, shame on you. And so here is this workshop that's teaching you how to do it. So I say, yes, let's go to the workshop so we can learn, so that we can have the information to keep it from happening to somebody. Not so that we can act on it, but so that we will have the wisdom and the knowledge. I just bought a car. I had to. And the woman said, this is what the white woman said. She said, I'm gonna put this amount on there because I don't want you to have to pay taxes on the car. Anything over 4,000 gotta pay taxes for it. I didn't know that. Maybe I should have known it, but I didn't know that. But she knew that. And she shared that information with me. So now I'm sharing it with you. Anything less than 4,000, you don't have to pay taxes on it. So you writing the bill of sale, you write the bill of sale. That's what she did. She put 3,500 on there. I just said thank you. We have to come alongside each other because there's somebody, and there is a scripture there's a verse in the Bible that I do consider to be a principle that I apply to my life, where it talks about there's only one spirit, but that one spirit gives you different gifts. So all of us as this is everybody, all of us as divine expressions, we all have gifts. And I went to this one church. This is where I learned it from. This was the church, Blair Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church on Northside Drive in Jackson, Mississippi. That's where I used to go. And he said, look around you. Just look around you in this room. Everything we need is in this room. And this was a Black church. We got a doctor, we got a lawyer, we got a nurse, we got a school teacher, we got a caterer, we got a baker, we got a teacher, we got somebody here has the gift that we need to move forward in this life. And I believe that about us. I believe about everybody. I was just talking about Ephesians 1:3. Every spiritual gift that you need has already been given to you. So our tribe has everything we could possibly need to lift each other up, but we can't because we don't have our gaze on each other. And when we do turn our gaze on each other, it is to punish. It is to talk about. It is to put down. It is to feel like I'm better than you. So all we have to do, all I'm asking us to do is shift your gaze. Because Patti LaBelle said, listen, those of you who think that the system of white inhumanity cares where you live, you think they care about your car, you think they care about what your children wearing for clothes, they not caring about none of that. You are living in a fantasy. You're doing all of this stuff for people who couldn't care less. But then there are other people who are looking up to you. There are some people, because of your comfortable lifestyle, that's saying, hey, I want to be like you one day. So you are a role model, but you're a role model to people that you don't even care about. You ain't even looking at them. You don't care that they looking up to you because you're worried about the system of whiteness. Here's Cornelius. Cornelius says, a client called me on Sunday, my day off, to tell me they were hungry. I wasn't feeling it in that moment, but I got up and responded because it's the least that I can do from my blessings. Wait a minute, let me say that again. Cornelius said, a client called me on Sunday, my day off, to tell me they were hungry. I wasn't feeling it in that moment, but I got up and responded because it's the least that I can do from my blessings. So many people around here talking about I'm blessed. You ask somebody how they doing, I'm blessed and highly favored. Okay, well, am I blessed and highly favored? Because you're saying it like you blessed, but I'm not. And if you are blessed and highly favored, then why won't you do for your people stuff that has already been done for you? Because anybody, I think Ezekiel said it, whatever we have, somebody helped us get it. We ain't getting nothing on our own. People talking about I pulled myself up by my bootstraps. No, you didn't. Some people say that he's a self-made millionaire. No, you're not. There's no way that you can do anything without having the help of somebody from some tribe that's offering you the information, offering you a leg up, opening the door for you to have an opportunity, giving you access to spaces that you would not normally have access to. All of this is happening in your life so that you can get to where you are. And the least that you can do is, even when you're not feeling it, get on up anyway. That's the least we can do. And so that's what I'm asking us. That's really all I'm asking. I'm asking you to take a good look at yourself and think about your tribe. Who is in your tribe that you are helping? It's somebody that can't read that I'm helping. It's somebody that's hungry that I'm helping. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm just going to give them some food. Because what do we say? How does the proverb go? If you teach them to fish, they can feed themselves for a lifetime. Don't just teach them to fish. And this is what I feel like I heard Ezekiel saying, listen, we gotta we gotta teach, we gotta let people know, we gotta educate. That's what we absolutely have to do. Caller, I'm so sorry. I don't have time for your call. I'm so sorry. I don't have time for your call. I only have, it's 9:59 with 35 seconds and counting, and your girl Lola is already at the door, ready to come in to bless you with 2 hours. What does she have in her hand? 2 hours full of jazz that will change your mind about something, that will get into your spirit and make you act and think a different way. This music is powerful. So you got these 2 hours coming up, and I want to lead. I want to start her off. She starts with the ladies. She's gonna do that, and I'm gonna start off with Nina Simone, who has become one of my best friends. Listening to her music, and she's writing. She's talking about, I put a spell on you. And some of us are under a spell right now, living in a fantasy, but we can find our way out through our tribe. Thank you so much for joining us for Community Voices. We are live right here at KBF 88.3 FM, where we are the voice of the people. We'll be right back on next Tuesday, same time, same place. See you then. You go.